Hi everyone, welcome back to Studio 33 Art by Kay. Today I'm going to be following on from a beautiful little coaster I did the other day where I used the Mont pouring paints mixed with the Bloom recipe of Jasonja and the Taubman's Doors and Trims Interior Neutral Gloss. And they worked out very well. So I'm going to, as I say, follow on from that using some slightly different colours and some colours the same. But I'm also going to be using in there the this little Piggy Macaw, which is a colour shift colour. And I'm also going to use the Special Effects Ready to Pour Pouring Masters Gold Interference Pearl, which is very similar to the Macaw, just as to bring in a little bit of a different dimension. And I'm also going to do this as what I'm going to call a duo swipe. So I'm going to do two different lines of paints laid down on the tile. I'm doing a 20 centimetre by 20 centimetre. And I will swipe those with the Amsterdam Oxide Black as a cell activator, which is mixed with Australian Floetrol, 1 part paint to 4 parts Floetrol. It's just to give a very different look. So without further ado, I'll just grab my tile and I'll be straight back. Okay, so here I am back with this ceramic tile, which is 8 inches by 8 inches or 20 centimetres by 20 centimetres. And the only thing I'm doing here to clean this off is I'm just using a small baby wipe, which just cleans that off perfectly well to apply my paints. Now, as the base today, I've actually got some Pouring Masters paint that I've put into this little container that were basically the drippings onto the plastic that I had the other day, and I didn't want to waste it. So it's a mixture of the Pouring Masters paints all mixed up into there, so I'm just going to use that as a base for something different. But I just wanted to mention too that sometimes when I put down a base of, say, the Araldo di Piolo Black, I have found, if I've freshly made it up, that it's left little tiny what I call pimples when it's dried. However, when I resin over that, you cannot see those little pimples. So don't worry too much if you are going to resin your work. If you've got little imperfections, once you resin over it, usually they disappear. But you have to experiment with that yourself. Okay, so I'm just going to lay down this paint, as I say, Pouring Masters. Looks like it's got a lot of the Hawaii in it, which is a beautiful shade of turquoisey blue. So I'll just empty that little container. I always save the little bits of paint, well, not always, but quite often, and then I don't use them. So I thought, well, today's the day I'm going to actually lay that paint down. So I'll just spin that out. And then I'll just tilt to move it around the tile. I find this Pouring Masters paint really sticks very well too, also to my hands. So I should really be wearing gloves when I'm using these, but however I'm not. So I'll just get that to the edges. Okay, so hopefully I won't regret using that paint that I'd picked up off the turntable the other day as a base paint. I haven't really used the Pouring Masters paint as a base before. So anyway, fingers crossed. So I'll just burst any bubbles that I might have there. I'm just going to lay down my paints in 2 separate stripes. So I'm going to start off with the Pouring Masters Hawaii Blue, which is the same colour as this. Well, it's actually not the same colour as that because this was a mixture of all the different ones. I'm just going to do a little stripe across here. And all these paints I'm using, as I say, have been mixed with the Jasonja and the Taubman's. And I have written all the colours in the description box below. Now I'm just going to lay down the Mont Pouring Paint Light Blue, which is not metallic. So I've mixed up between metallics and non-metallics today. And now I'm going to lay down some purple which is the Mont Pouring Paint Dark Purple. Don't want too much. And then a little bit of the TLP Macaw, which is a pigment that I've mixed up. Just run that through there. Don't want too much of it. And now some of the Mont Pouring Paint Gold. And a little bit of the copper, not much though, just a tiny bit, hopefully. It's always hard to control it when you're using the little sticks instead of pouring out of a bottle. Now up here, I'm going to use the Mont Pouring Paint Shiraz, which is a beautiful bright pink. To me it's hot pink. They call it Shiraz, but I would call that hot pink. And I think that will look stunning against the Pouring Masters background there. So with the one I did the other day, I didn't do a video of, but it had the pink, but it didn't have a lot of the pink come through. So I wanted to do that today, get a bit more of the pink coming through. Then I'm just going to put a little bit of the Pouring Masters Hawaii Blue. And the the Pouring Masters Pouring Paint Gold Interference. Just a little bit of that through there. As I say, not too much. And now, this time I'll put the bronze down first, and then I'll put the gold over the top. I do love the Mont Pouring Paint bronze and gold mixed up with the bloom recipe, the Shelly Art bloom recipe pouring medium. They give fantastic cells. So hopefully I'll get that again today. And I'll just burst the bubbles. Now I'm just going to use my offset spatula and the Amsterdam Oxide Black mixed with Australian Floetrol. So I'm just going to cover that little spatula with the cell activator. I want a fair bit on there because I want it to really sink through and create some beautiful cells. So I'm just going to swipe this one first and then I'll do the second one. Here we go. I thought I was going to lose it all then. Not much came through, but it was where I started up there. And as usual, the little spatula looks lovely. Make sure you wipe your spatula off. Always do that. I'll just do that again. So while I'm loading this up, I'd just like to take the opportunity of thanking all of those of you who have subscribed to my channel. And if you haven't already, if you would like to, that would be fantastic. And I do really appreciate it more than you would know. So thank you so much. Oh, these are looking yummy. Okay, so I'm just going to swipe this one now. Just do it very lightly. And I'll just bring that up and over that one, just to link them together. Lovely, the cells are coming up beautifully. Okay, so now I'm just going to take a small bamboo skewer. No, actually I'm going to spin it out first. I do prefer to spin out first because I like my wrecking lines to maintain their shape. I don't like them to all go skew-with, which often happens if you do them first. So I'm just going to spin it and then I'll do some modification. Wow, beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. Oh, I'm not sure which one I like the best. Both of them probably. So I'd just like to connect them a little bit more. So I'm just going to bring this one through to here, just slightly. So now I'll just do a little bit of shaping into here. Which is one of my favourite things to do, as you would know. I am loving this base. I hope it dries nicely. I can see it's pulling back a little bit. And these multicoloured cells are just gorgeous, and I did get enough pink there, which is nice. Or Shiraz. I like this here too, where you get that ghosty sort of look, where the swipe has gone across the base and just got a little bit of colour coming through. And this sort of what I would call a netting sort of a look. It looks like fishnet stockings. Those of you who remember wearing fishnet stockings, that's what that reminds me of there. Don't want to overdo this. I love those big jumbo cells there, so I think I might leave those. I might just bring my fishnet stockings in a little bit though, just to give them a little bit of shape. Yeah, so I haven't touched the big cells. I'm just bringing in that little bit of webbing there, just to give it a bit of shape. So when you look at these, you just look at what you'd like to alter or not. You don't want to overdo it. And of course, it's always the hardest thing is to know when to stop. Just like do a little tiny bit of a movement in there. So that looks nice. It's very sheer coming into those big cells. Just take this a little bit further up here. I like to do something with that. I won't bring it all the way, I don't think. I'll just, yeah, I might bring that all the way in. Yes, luscious. Probably don't want to do a lot there. Maybe just do a little bit of a few little swirly bits coming in. Instead of going out, I'll bring them in. Okay, so that's beautiful. And then down onto this piece here. Same thing with the, I'll call it the fishnet stocking look. I'll just give that a bit of shape. This guy here needs something doing with it. Might just swirl it around a little bit. And again here, same type of thing. Just like to connect this a little bit more, just to bring the two swipes together. That's it. These cells, seriously, love it. Don't want to over modify, as I say. I actually really like that the way it is. I don't want to do too much. I might just bring this little guy in here where the cells are a bit smaller. Take that around. I just want to leave that how that is. Maybe just bring the part where it's just blue and black here. Just bring a little bit more shape into that. Sorry about the dog next door barking. Always happens when I start doing something. So I might just bring this little piece up here. And now my partner's just gone to the garbage bin, so another bit of noise there. Bring another little bit of that. Maybe bring this up into the here. Yeah, that's nice. As I say, I don't want to over complicate things. Just a tiny bit up here. Bringing the colour up from the bottom and then around. Just check my sides. Yep. Make sure there's enough paint on there. All right, so I'm just going to leave that. I'm not going to spin it out again. And I shall now bring you down for a close-up. So here we are coming down for a close-up of this very shimmery piece. It looks absolutely beautiful on that background that was just a mixture of paints that I'd picked up from a previous pour. And you can see those, the gold and the bronze Mont pouring paint that I mixed with the bloom recipe. Just gorgeous again, those cells. A bit of the purple there. And then coming up to this guy, which has got a lot more of the Shiraz, which I was really hoping to get. And the shimmer on this is absolutely beautiful. And look at those cells there. All those multicoloured cells. And coming through here to these beautiful jumbo cells, which were the beautiful Shiraz, and then the turquoise colours, and then my fishnet stockings up here. So all in all, a lovely shimmery piece. This will be beautiful once I've resined it, and I will make a trivet out of this, so some lucky person will get to have this in their kitchen. Okay, so that's it for today, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed that one, and I'll see you back here in Studio 33 in not too distant future. Oh, And also don't forget, when you lift it up to dry it off, make sure you wipe the drips from underneath. Okay, see you soon. Bye bye.